We've all heard the story. Cleopatra, the last queen of Egypt, takes her own life with the bite of an asp, a venomous snake. It's a dramatic, tragic end to a legendary life, immortalized by Shakespeare and countless films. But what if I told you that this famous story, the one we all think we know, might not be the whole truth? What if the real story of Cleopatra's final moments is even more complex and fascinating? Let's travel back to 30 BC, Alexandria, Egypt. Cleopatra's world is crumbling. Her lover, the Roman general Mark Antony, has just died in her arms, having fallen on his own sword after hearing a false rumor of her death. Now, her nemesis, Octavian, the future Emperor Augustus, is at the gates of the city. For Cleopatra, this isn't just a military defeat. It's the end of her dynasty, the end of an independent Egypt, and the end of her life as a queen. She knows what awaits her, being paraded through the streets of Rome in chains, a living trophy in Octavian's victory procession. It's a humiliation she is determined to avoid at all costs. She retreats to her mausoleum, a grand tomb she had built for herself and Antony. This is where the classic story takes place. Ancient writers like Plutarch tell us that a farmer delivered a basket of figs to her, and hidden beneath the fruit was an asp. She supposedly tested the snake's venom on her handmaidens, Iris and Charmian, before applying it to her own arm or breast. When Octavian's guards burst in, they found her dead on her golden couch, dressed in her royal robes, with her two loyal attendants dying at her feet. It's a powerful image, a queen choosing her own destiny, defiant to the very end. But let's look closer at this story because historians and toxicologists have raised some serious questions. First, the snake itself. The term asp could refer to several venomous snakes in Egypt, most likely the Egyptian cobra. A cobra's bite is incredibly painful. It causes swelling, vomiting, and convulsions. Death isn't the swift, peaceful drift into oblivion that the stories suggest. It can be a gruesome, agonizing process, sometimes taking hours. Would Cleopatra, a woman known for her meticulous planning and control, choose such an unpredictable and undignified way to die? Then there's the logistics. Smuggling a cobra, which can grow up to 8 feet long, into a heavily guarded mausoleum in a small fig basket seems unlikely, to say the least. And according to the accounts, not one but 3 women died from this single snake in a very short amount of time. A snake typically uses most of its venom in the first bite. It's highly improbable that one snake would have enough venom to quickly kill 3 adults one after the other. It just doesn't add up. So, if not a snake, then what? This leads us to a compelling alternative theory: poison. Cleopatra was famously knowledgeable about pharmacology and toxicology. Ancient sources say she experimented with various poisons, seeking a fast-acting and painless method of death. It's far more plausible that she had a lethal cocktail of poisons prepared and stored in her mausoleum for this very eventuality. Some scholars suggest a mixture of hemlock, wolfsbane, and opium. This combination would induce a rapid, relatively painless death, causing paralysis and respiratory failure without disfiguring the body. This theory makes a lot more sense. A vial of poison is much easier to conceal than a live cobra. It would allow her to control the exact timing and nature of her death, ensuring it was quick and dignified. It would also explain how her 2 handmaidens could die with her. They could have all ingested the poison together in a final act of loyalty. This aligns perfectly with Cleopatra's character, a brilliant strategist who left nothing to chance. So why did the snake story become so popular? We have to think about propaganda. Octavian, the victor, controlled the narrative. A snake bite was exotic, theatrical, and fit the Roman stereotype of a seductive, dangerous, and oriental queen. It was a story that painted Cleopatra as emotional and dramatic, rather than calculated and strategic. The snake, a symbol of royalty and divinity in Egypt, was twisted into a symbol of her treacherous nature. On the other hand, the story of her taking a self-administered poison might have been seen as too Roman, a noble, stoic death, akin to figures like Seneca. Octavian couldn't have his enemy dying with the same honor as a Roman philosopher. The snake story was simply better PR for him. Furthermore, there's the question of her burial. Plutarch tells us that Octavian, despite being her enemy, was impressed by her courage and ordered that she be buried with full royal honors next to Mark Antony. But her tomb has never been found. For centuries, archaeologists and adventurers have searched for this legendary final resting place. Recent discoveries of a temple dedicated to Osiris and a network of tunnels near Alexandria have sparked new hope. Some archaeologists believe this could be the site, a place where the queen who saw herself as the embodiment of the goddess Isis would choose to be laid to rest. Imagine what we could learn if her tomb were found. It could finally give us the definitive answer to how she died. Ultimately, whether by serpent or by syringe, Cleopatra achieved her goal. She robbed Octavian of his ultimate prize. She controlled her own narrative in the only way she had left. She died a queen on her own terms, in her own kingdom. Her death wasn't an act of surrender. It was her final act of defiance. The legend of the asp may be more fiction than fact, but the power of her story, the story of a brilliant leader who refused to be conquered, continues to fascinate us more than 2,000 years later. The mystery of Cleopatra's death is a perfect example of how history is often shaped by the winners. The dramatic snake-bitten queen is a compelling character, but the calculating strategist who outsmarted her enemies even in death is, perhaps, even more remarkable. What do you think? Was it the dramatic bite of an asp or a carefully prepared poison? Let me know your theories down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into ancient history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories that challenge what you think you know. See you next time.